Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we are live right now. The 360 Chop Shop. I'm your host from the coast. My name is Khosmo. In the building today, we got Alan the Alias, Amanda Smiles, my boy EJ, and of course, our guest today, Geo Cuts from Side Effects.
What it do?
What's going on, man? Welcome to the Chop Shop.
What's good? What's good?
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we are live right now. The 360 Chop Shop. On double playback. We had to run that back here. In the building today, we got Alan the Alias. There we go. I was wondering why it wouldn't stop going. Hey, we still fixing the kinks out of this thing. You know what I'm saying? It's still, our still early in the run. But we are doing it. How you doing, George? How's things been, man?
And it's good. I'm glad the weekend here. It's been a hell of a week. I'll tell you that for sure.
Man, this has been a hell of a 6 months, man. Telling me it's been a hell of a year. 2020 has been throwing us curveballs, man.
Yeah, it's left, right, uppercut, all of that.
we got to figure out the cheat code just to get through this year, man. What's the cheat code going on, bro?
Man. That's major facts. We need all of that.
Yeah, man.
It's fire season now, right?
Well, yeah, I've seen that. What's that? Northern Cali.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's
just
been
keep
wild.
on happening.
It's been wild. I mean, of course, we had the first month of the year with Kobe dying, passing away. R.I.P. to the great Mamba. And then, of course, he got hit with the coronavirus of COVID-19. And then, of course, with the most recent events with the protests and the riots and all this, everything that's going on, the racial injustice and then, with all of the racial tensions that's going on, and then everybody's looting, and then you got all these conspiracies going. It's just been a crazy ride, man. Crazy roller coaster, man. So we getting through it, though. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Tell us who you are, those who are just tuning in to the 360 Chop Shop. Of course, I want to remind everybody we are on Twitch right now, so make sure you do follow us on twitch.tv/360_Chop Shop, and also follow us on Instagram. So we got that out the way. So, George, man, why don't you tell us about yourself, man? Give us a little bit of background about you.
George, also known as Geo Pincham III. I'm a co-partner with Side Effects. My business partners, EJ Rowland, Orlando Johnson, also very notable guys coming out of the 831 as well. Both of them professional athletes. And we got together a few years back and put this plan together to open up the shops and be not just a barbershop, but a venue and a hub to the community as a inspiration and pretty much a positive outreach location for things. So we've had a few things. Khosmo, you kind of got a chance to, or actually was involved in all of them, really, with our showcase and, doing other things for barber community.
Yeah. And
trying to, incite other talents out there. So, I mean, shoot, right now it's early in the game, but I mean, our business plan is kind of as planned as far as being a local landmark. So that's pretty much what I got popping right now. But the whole 831, I mean, not just to be, locked in on Seaside, but the whole 831, like we really want to engage and bringing everything together.
Absolutely. How long you been cutting hair for?
I've been cutting hair. This is my 20th year right now. 15 years licensed, but yeah, going all the way back to 2000 in high school as a sophomore, putting them elite bogus tapers to people's necks and stuff. So yeah, they wasn't nowhere near what they is now. But way back in the early 2000s, that's when I started to pick up the clippers and develop a passion for it. And like my mother told me, if you find something you love to do, you'll never work a day in your life. So that's something that I still find to be dear. So
yeah, absolutely.
That's how my shit.
Words of wisdom from moms, and now look at you doing it.
Yeah. I'm out here working for free. You seen that? Crazy. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. She on a date. I told her to check in with me because I don't know, buddy. I don't know. Is this what you doing dating in the time of the year right now? What's going on? Like, all right.
Yeah. So happy birthday to your moms. Happy birthday. Celebrating out there doing the thing. So you got some chance to kick it with her today and spend the day with her a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, me and Lil Bro kind of spoiled her early and let her go ahead and have her day. She wanted some peace, so That's what it is.
Okay, okay. So when you
Yeah.
started out cutting, did you start out like, you know, cutting out your garage and then or doing house calls, or like how did you start off though? Like,
Well, my dad, for the ones that do know him, he's very strict. He does, you know, he can be charming and whatnot, but he's an actual real strict dude. And I ain't gonna say, well, yeah, I'm gonna keep it a buck. He didn't really believe that haircutting was gonna be something lucrative, or you know what it is for, you know what it is now as far as the industry that it is. So me cutting hair in the garage and in the backyard, in the kitchen, bathrooms, all that stuff was not popping at the house. I had to pretty much go ahead and go to other people's house. So early in my career, I was doing house calls. I was doing the house calls. I was pulling up and, you know, pretty much picking, you know, doing my thing like that. But, you know, other than my little brother's hair, he was the only one I would cut at the crib, and everybody else I had to go and pull up. So yeah, that's kind of how what started that. So it took even with that hurdle alone, like it took a little extra more to get to where I'm at now.
yeah, I remember you had some great mentors that was you was under their wing for a little bit over at the hair company. You know, the OGs in the game, you know, the staples in the haircut game, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, how was it, you know, being the young buck amongst those great gentlemen that you was, you know, being an apprentice under?
It was that kind of happened slightly accidental too, because when I went to the hair company, they did actually have a room off to its own that I was seeking. I was like, I'm not gonna bother the old heads. Like, let me get my own suite in the building, but off to the side somewhere. But the owner of the time, Fletcher, was like, nah, I'm gonna put you in the chair next to me. You know, across the rep, and pretty much you'll get a chance to pick us apart and pick up this game. So amongst the three of them over time, like just listening to them talk, beyond watching them cutting hair, like that's one thing, but the art of watching how they interact with their clients, their friends, you know, from the you know, the people that was their contemporaries, the youth and the ladies and the single moms and everything, it was really like an art to just see how they really were engaged with their clients. And my dad being vocal in the community and stuff, and my mom also working in social services, like it was always something, you know, popping with you know.
I think we got a little poor connection there. We good? Okay, we back on. There we go.
Looks like it.
Back on.
Yeah. So I mean that's a great start. I mean your story though, like where you started off from, you just became passionate about it. You was over at the hair company, and then you got your own room, got your own chair for a cool minute, and now you got your own shop with your partners. Yeah, and you know, so this whole COVID-19 thing, you know, immediately, you know, they shut down, you know, barbershops, nail salons, tattoo shops. They shut them down. You know, that was a good 4 or 5 months that you wasn't able to open up your shop. And how was you maintaining through that time?
Yeah, shoot, those 3 months. Was it 3? Yeah, or late or mid-March.
Yeah,
it put us in the blender, dog. I mean, like, we was able to really communicate with each other like more than ever, which kind of helped strengthen the bond between my partners and some of the, you know, along with the staff as well. But like, I was just hitting lines up over the time. I've kind of like got a chance to build relationships with the people of the city, along with the mayor and, you know, the city planner and stuff. So they was emailing me all the time, shoot resources to kind of keep me locked in on what's going on. So it was a lot of homework going on behind the scenes, man. I really stepped up my game educationally with learning, you know, how things operate. Just really just locked in on trying to make sure that I can take advantage of whatever resources out there for me and my team. So it was stressful, but that alone, all that stuff kind of helped me be busy instead of being caught up in just, you know, for as much as I was going to be active, it was just like, because ain't nobody else gonna do it for me.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy how like you have those tiers, right? You have like the city, you have the county, then you have the state, right? And then you like they'll come out with a rule that's like for the whole state, but then if the county is like nah, it could be like, all right, so no city, because I think they opened up barbershops and tattoo shops like others in other counties and right before Monterey did.
Yeah,
that's a trip, like how they can do that, like.
that right there had a lot of people false hope. And if for me, I knew about the county breakdown, but with the cases and stuff, just like you saying, we just missed it. It was like, was it 53 counties and only 11 were not approved to go ahead and get the green light right away. But I know we had the special request that we were putting in based off, the mayor called me once the stuff passed. He was like, yeah, just be cool. I know you've seen the news, but we're going to put in a special. We'll get the green light. So I'm looking at him like, what are you talking about? We got green light. And then I read up on it some more. We were one of the counties that, were cut off.
Yeah. Like Monterey, Santa Cruz, I think we're both on there.
Well, yeah, all the counties around me, because I'm in the Bay Area. And so I know a lot of barbers up here, and they had a video about to be open, and then next thing you know, nope, just kidding.
It's like they was dangling the carrot, They was like, oh, we're going to open up next month. And then next month came around, then they say, oh, no, we're going to wait one more month. And then it's like everybody's at the edge of the seats. I know everyone at home hurting for a haircut. They all growing out the afros and beards, But you open now with certain restrictions. So what are some of those restrictions as what the Monterey County Health has put in place for barbershops?
Well, a lot of the restrictions, now that's another thing, because now you got words to it, like the way you word it. So you got restrictions, but we were told guidelines. You got guidelines.
Yeah.
Then some of those things are, suggestive. Then there's some stuff that's mandatory. Off rip, wearing a mask was mandatory. Just off of, you're going to be in each other's personal space. When you cut somebody's hair, I'm breathing your air, you breathing my air. So having a mask on was critical and mandatory. So that's something that we for sure used before we opened it up. So that's one. We checking people's temperature at the door, checking your temperature. It used to be a figure of speech, a little phrase that that we picked up. I'm gonna check your temperature, man. See, no, we really coming with the little joint, and we putting it to your forehead, and we gonna see what your temperature reading is, and make sure you lower to 99.9, and we're gonna move forward. Go ahead and touch the hand sanitizer upon entry. Sit on down, not touching heck of surfaces, and we trying to stay away from contact all as much as possible, all the way down to the pavement. So if you got any of these Apple Pays, Venmo, all of that stuff, we're kind of pushing that, which is kind of what we were going to before, along with the online booking. So it's really as contactless as possible.
But what if you have to trim up their beard or something? You got to be really close up in their face, right? They have to take their face mask off.
That would definitely be the situation. But within those guidelines, beard services are currently discontinued.
Okay.
We can't service those. So I mean, that's a deal breaker for a lot of clients, because that kind of puts the ice on the cake. I had two guys that just said, if I can't get it all done, I don't think I want to get it done. I said, but I can trim your cut. I can get the cut what you need, and I can coach you through the beard. How about this? I'm gonna come back when it's ready. I said, I respect that, because it's kind of a experience when you're getting a service. So if something is halfway done, the service, then ultimately, I want everybody to have a good time.
Sure.
So yeah, that was a deal breaker for a couple guys, but we're learning to adjust, just like our clients are. But that one right there was tough.
That's what's up.
So when you opened up, though, did you have a line out the door? Was your clients just hitting you off the rack, telling you like, "Hey, I need my cut"? How busy were you when the doors finally opened up again?
And so, notoriously, I'm one of the first ones to adapt to online booking. I think it goes back to 2017. But my online booking was already blammed off before before even COVID.
Yeah.
So then with COVID, with my regulars already locked in, I was already maxed out. So no line for me, but my phone line was hotter than fish grease, and text message, DM, Facebook, any way they could hit me, my phone was going berserk. So that right there was something I'm just learning to adjust, because our hours have to change. Just because of the precautions that we're taking, allows or it counts for us to have to do proper like procedures before we get a client in the chair and after, you know, as far as sanitizing and disinfecting our areas. So it really kind of extended our services. I'm usually doing a cut in 30 minutes, but I've extended to like 45.
Okay.
So that takes away, you know, I think I've shrunk my day into like two less services than I normally would do.
Yeah.
And along with the rest of the guys. So it's a sacrifice, but we want to get y'all right. That's what we gonna do.
How
do they have people
do you usually take like per day? How many cuts do you?
Yeah, see, and that's a funny question that I never really got a chance to actually honestly answer before, but now I'm getting closer to being able to do that just because every service is different. If I was doing a cut and a shave, it kind of spills into somebody just coming in and getting a lineup versus somebody that's getting a haircut. So there'd be some days where I can do 10 guys, and there used to be some days where I can do 15 or 20 guys, depending what my hours is. So how I got this, I'm gonna be somewhere around the 10, somewhere around 10 clients a day. Really, like getting back in my groove, because that wears us out. I mean, I got a couple of the barbers we talked about it as far as our legs just feeling real fatigued, because you standing 6, 7, 8, 9 hours a day. Yeah. If you haven't done it in a long time, these 2-3 months, we done got weak. We out there looking like
you got them jello legs.
Soak in the bathtub at the end of the night.
With an Epsom salt, yeah. Do they have people coming in just checking you guys, you know, like people from the city or
that hasn't actually I'll take that back, because we got friends of the city. I forget that they're friends. They do come in and say, hey, I just wanted to say welcome back and this and that. And now that you said that, maybe they were just kind of
right.
So, but it hasn't been like the whole clipboard, you know, with the whole goggles on, magnifying glass. We haven't got that full up. But I mean, like I said, the mayor itself already came in and got serviced. One of the city planners has came in. Another one that actually had to vote or help the voting of our water rights came in. They're our friends and our clients. So it's kind of cool to kind of have that type of embrace versus somebody coming in that we never seen and having like a legit, like, you know, eyeball recklessly trying to figure out if we messing around with protocol or not.
Right.
Hey, that's one thing though, is like when you know some dude that don't come to the barbershop, at the barbershop, was he ain't from the like, hey, what this dude doing over here for?
It's like, who's this guy over here? What's he doing?
But it's actually lucky that barbershops, you know, are opening up, and next thing you know, hair salons. But nail salons, that's going to be forever. That's probably like the last thing, along with music festivals.
Yeah, between barbershops and nail salons.
I used to try to get my cut from George, and I just know, like, when he cuts your hair, he takes his time. Like, it ain't just like, oh, let me just try to get you out of this motherfucking chair real quick. It's just like pinpointing like the little dots to make them all right and everything, you know. And it's like, that's one thing I remember. Shoot, I haven't had hair since 6 years ago, I think.
But you got that beard though. You know, all I got. You got that beard. That's what they said with most of them. The hair ran from your head and just trickled down.
All my gray hairs now too.
Oh man.
Hey, I'm right there with you, bro. I'm right there with you.
I'm platinum. I try to make it sound a little bit more legendary.
I bet it's just nice to have just people contact. Just want to, you know, start seeing people, talking to people. You probably talk to them even longer now. Now there's like interaction, you know?
Absolutely. Everybody got a story, because, you know, it's 2-3 months of just bundled up, and you finally sit in a barber's chair, and people are more so understanding what a barber experience is now with the break. So I've got many of my regulars that have missed that, like you saying, that contact and that conversation, because of course you come in, you want to love what you see in the mirror after you get the cut, but the experience of just converse, and we're talking so many different things. Like, I know so many intimate stories about, you know, guys, just because it's therapeutic, you know, like, you know, whether they planning an engagement, whether it's a job, you know, issue, or whether the issues that they face within their relationships, and it does become very like intimate, that bond, you know. So
that therapy session.
It's a therapy session.
Yeah, the guys absolutely.
Hey, G, I just want to let you know the cut's one thing, man. How you doing, man? I'm just checking up on you. Like, I miss being in this shop rapping with y'all. Like, I had a handful of those, and it just kind of was like, yeah, we doing something special, and that's where the push to make people understand how essential we are, far beyond the service.
For sure. That's one thing I miss too, man. It's like, that's why I like this kind of thing. I like doing this podcast because it's like, I don't ever get social interaction anymore. You know, it's like when have I actually got to like kick it with folks and like a decent conversation? It's been a minute. Like, you know, just getting older too, and then having this whole thing, now I just wonder, like, what's the new normal gonna be? Like, is it gonna be this weird type of thing where it's like people are gonna be like hesitant to like give them a hug or you know, is everyone's just gonna give daps now? Is everyone gonna do elbows or? And then coming from a place like a barbershop, that's like a social, like you said, like a social hub, you know? And I can't imagine like how environment would be if it had to change, you know?
Yeah, definitely. We've been doing elbow checks on each other amongst the staff. Like we've been known. Everybody comes in, all the barbers come in, and we dap each other up on the entry, and we greet whoever the client is. If it's possible, we dap them up. But if it's intervening in the service, then we'll give them some type of head nod, eye contact. But you're right, that new norm on what's the new gesture, what's the new greeting.
We gotta come through and do the kid and play dance. You know what I'm saying? Everybody toe tap and touch it.
Yeah.
But that's one thing I miss about being in the shop. You know, just the camaraderie. You know, the conversation. You know, there's a lot of roasting going on. You know, when the guys come in. I'll be watching your stories, man. You be cracking me up with some of these cats that be coming in. Some of the what's the dude's name that always be coming in the shop? Bald head. He always rocking the Raider jersey and he starts rapping.
Oh, that Kuda Pimp.
Kuda
Pimp.
Man, that boy
got some characters, man.
Yeah,
that's you right. Dudes like that make the shop like a shop.
Yeah,
Kuda Pimp.
It's really like you know when you're watching the Ice Cube movie Barbershop. It's really like that in the shop. You know, people just come in randomly. They're chilling and just having a good conversation. Whether you're talking about anything, you talk about sports, you talk about, you know, dude down the street just walking, you know, just you know, just making fun. You know, just everybody just having a good time. Smiles going around. Even when the arguments pop off too, the arguments be popping, but they're like productive arguments. They're like, you know, more like, we're gonna clown on you, but then, you know, it's all comedy, you know. It's a good time whenever I sit in the chair and you guys have those conversations, when you guys get in the roast sessions. What I really like though is the sports debates y'all be having, man, because I know you a big sportsman. You a Laker fan, Niner fan all day, you know. So we got 2 Niner fans, we got 2 Raider fans up in here. All right,
let's get it.
But what's your hopes for the season? We just got announced that the football season is going to be intact. So what's your look on the Niners this year? Yo.
He don't got nothing to say.
You got nothing to say? Yeah, I'll take that too.
I'll fill in the words
I
for
feel
you.
it. Hey.
Revenge Tour 2020.
I mean, you know, so.
That was just perfect timing, right?
Yeah, I guess. So we're gonna run that question back. You know, so what's your take on the Niners season this year?
We salty. You know what I'm saying? Things went. You know, we was right here. So we salty. We coming back with vengeance. You know what I'm saying? I like the fact that a lot of the guys are returning. We clearly within the division are still the better team, which gives us the opportunity to go ahead and run this shit back.
Let's go.
See, y'all think y'all make it to the bowl again this year?
I'm telling you, Revenge Tour 2020. Watch out. You know, we got all that energy built up from COVID. We're ready to run.
Hey, that boy.
No, that could remind me like the Seahawks.
Oh,
don't mention them, man.
Damn.
You know, we don't like them very much.
What happened that year? The next year? Did they make it back?
I don't know. I forgot.
Seahawks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't follow them like that.
They try to pass it. They try to pass it into the end zone, and instead of giving it to Marshawn Lynch.
That's when them Skittles stocks start going crazy. You got the Skittles jumping out the stands.
But we're a young squad, you know, so we go take it back.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your take on this new NBA format to finish off the season? They got, I think it's like going to do like 22 teams to do a quick playoff to get the 16-team playoff. I don't know the full details about it, but what's your take on it?
I think with a lot of stuff right now is that we're just gonna have to like really be welcome to adjusting. You know what I'm saying? So the format sounds ridiculous. I ain't gonna front, but it's hoop, and if it's nothing on TV, I'm gonna watch it.
For
but
real.
you're talking about guys playing in the same arena, but there's no athlete or no fans there. And the conversations I had with Orlando itself, and him being an athlete and going to a gym and there's no fans there, he's like, that's so much part of the game. If I'm at the free throw line getting heckled, or the crowd's hushing, or you know there's a loose ball and they heckling the refs or something, like that plays into the emotion and the whole flow of the game. So I mean it's gonna take a while to adjust, but I'm thirsty to watch some hoop. I'm gonna be dialed in.
Hell yeah!
It's like them playing back practice. It's just them practicing. That's what
they doing like it's going to be like pickup games. You know, in the rec league, they playing at the YMCA with nobody, you know, or over at the sports center or something. You know.
Well, yeah, that was somewhere I was saying. I wonder if like the you know, like when they show all the different B-roll throughout the game, they're like showing the fans in the stadium or in the arena, stuff like that. Like what's TV gonna look like now? You know what I mean?
Real.
Exactly. Like, you're not gonna have no warrior mom dancing. You know, like
no kiss cam, nothing of that, none of that.
They should do something where you know, like where they're mic'd up. And, you know, like, you should just have everybody mic'd up so you really hear what they're talking about.
I don't know if you want to hear what they be saying.
I know, you're right.
There's a lot of trash talk going on the court. But I think that would make it more entertaining.
No momentum. All that stuff is going to be different. You know what I mean? It's not going to be like, oh, yeah, I busted this shot and the crowd's all pissed off. So that's not going to be there. Be so weird. I feel like because have you guys seen like the UFC fights that they have?
Oh yeah,
I saw last night. It's crazy because you could hear them smack. You know, every time the punch lands, you could hear it a lot more than when you would watch it with the crowd. Like you could really hear that, and it's crazy. Like man, they are really getting smacked. And
but that's the fun part of it. It's like, ooh, you know, but basketball is different. You probably hear someone fall on the floor. You probably hear them smack. Every time you hear them dribble the ball, you probably hear the dribbling going on. You're like, oh, that's travel for show. You know, something like that. But, you know, it's different. The fans is a big part of it. Definitely a big part of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
trash talking too. Camera.
Yeah.
They're gonna have the restrictions on the language, you know, because you know they be cursing up and down that court.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah.
For sure. They're talking so much crap to each other.
I just hope the guys in shape. You know they've been kicking it like that.
Oh yeah. They're gonna come out like Thor that is on Endgame over there, just with big old beard, long hair, and just a beer belly.
No, they probably have someone special.
Nah, they was probably working out though. They probably was working. I'm sure they was working out. You know,
in their own gym.
Some of them.
Nice gyms that they got in their house.
I know that ESPN, you know, during when the whole pandemic thing started, they were doing like horse from their driveway. You know, they're taking NBA players and they're playing horse like virtually. I thought it was entertaining. You know, it was entertaining. They had Paul Pierce versus who was it going against? Some girl in the WNBA, and Paul Pierce got whooped on some horse.
Playing horse on Zoom.
Yeah, they was playing horse on Zoom. That's crazy. I mean, it's like I'm excited. I'm excited for sports to just get a kickoff. I'm excited for football season. I'm excited for basketball season. I'm excited for the Lakers to get a chance to win that championship. You know.
Wait, I didn't hear you. I thought I just heard you say Lakers get a championship.
Yes, because
because
the Warriors are not even going to be in the bracket. They're not even going to be invited to the 22.
Wow,
they're not. They're at the bottom.
For those people who are watching this podcast, who are your teams? Let me know.
Yeah.
Like, who are your sports teams?
I like how you slid off of that right quick. Yeah, the Warriors, they did get cut off. I think it's 8 teams. The Warriors is definitely one of them 8 off.
I mean, when you have all your stars on the bench with injury, you can't, no Steph. You had Draymond being your star player on that team. I mean, can't work.
You know what? I told all my friends, though, this is like, I said, when the 49ers move to a new location, they're not going to be as good. Watch, when the Warriors go to Chase Center, they're not going to be as they are in Oakland. And see, that's what happens. Every time I feel like a new team goes to a new arena, a new stadium, it all changes. Like the atmosphere changes.
Well, hopefully it will change for the Raiders because they're going to a new stadium. They've been horrible, so maybe they go to a new stadium and they'll be better.
No, I think they're just going to keep on being horrible, So I mean, they're all probably just going to have the same haircut that their owner has too. I don't know.
Oh. Chucky?
Man, I'll tell you right now though.
But I do feel
Mark
like
Davis by side effects.
Who's that?
Mark Davis, the Raiders owner.
He needs to come by.
Yeah. So it's funny. I had an opportunity to cut what's the head coach? I just forgot. I call him Chucky all the time.
Gruden?
John Gruden.
John Gruden.
Yeah, John Gruden. I was like, I mean, sometimes you got a certain client that won't really be the best model for your work, So like, I think I was out of town at the time, so I couldn't do it. But I was just thinking back, like, if I had cut his hair and I'm looking at him on TV, I can't be like, damn, look at that sharp lineup. He wears something different, but yeah, it's crazy.
What are some clients that you've had, like some big name clients?
Oh man, right now, let's go hoop.
All right.
I had Kawhi Leonard. I had Kawhi Leonard. I had Iman Shumpert. I had let's see. I didn't have KD, but I was at dinner. I had a little dinner with him because I'm cool with Seth Curry. So I had cut little Steph, or his little brother Seth, and then also Clay's brother Michael Thompson too. So let me see.
Baseball player?
Athletes. Nah, that's the one that was in the G League, but he also played LeBron with the Cavs for a little bit.
Okay.
And then of course local Herm Edwards.
Yep.
And Mason when he come to town every once in a while. But it's been a while since I cut Mason. Yeah, Mason's one of the guys too. TP from the city. But yeah, those are some guys. I think Iman Shumpert was a cool client to cut, along with Tyrone Lue. That whole Cavs team, who was a guy named Jordan McRae, who came out the G League, and when he got that call up with the Cavaliers, he remembered me and was like, every time he came to California, he was like, "Yo, are you nearby?" I guess he didn't know how big Cali's from. I'm thinking he's from like Atlanta, but he'll be somewhere like LA. Be like, "Yo, how far is your shot from here?" I'm like, "Dog, that's way out the way." I think as he finally figured out how big Cali was, every time he got close to like Frisco, Oakland, he would hit me up, and he happened to be on that Cavs team that was down 3-1, and he was like, "I need a cut," and it looked like Iman needed a cut. He was good friends with Kyrie. But Kyrie didn't. I guess he already got cut, whatever. But I cut Tyrone Lue when they were down 3-1, and they never lost after that. So I think I had something to do. I think I had something to do with it.
I think you're not allowed to cut them anymore. That's what it is.
Hey, didn't you cut Mark Jackson one time too? Did I?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mark Jackson, I missed out. Nah. But yeah, that's you, man. Yeah, the coaches, it was Tyrone Lue. And it was a coach by the name of I was just talking about him the other day because he ended up coaching O for the Suns. Oh man, it'll come to me. But yeah, it's crazy how small the NBA is when you cut one. It really is, back to Orlando Johnson. He put me on one of the summer leagues when he was with the Warriors. And he just shot a tweet out like, "Y'all need a cut." Hit my dude up, and my Twitter just exploded. And I was in and out of people's hotel room that whole summer in Vegas.
That's what's up.
You ever had anybody fly you out? Any clients fly you out? Say, "I'm over here up in Nevada right now. Where you at?" "Oh, I'll fly you out. I need to cut."
Yeah. The homie James Nutley, he's flown me out a few times, and in the LA area, San Diego, he flew me out for his wedding to where was that, in like the OC, Orange County area, and then he flew me out to like Anaheim area, where he was playing for the China team that was playing against the Rockets, and they happened to be in LA area. And ironically, they were training at Kobe Bryant's gym, the Mamba Academy, and that was the first time I ever Mamba. So that was a dope experience to cut him and just had that whole conversation because he was representing the China team, and when they ended up playing, he was that dude. He had to guard James Harden and everything. And it was pretty crazy.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Man, your story be crazy sometimes on there. Seeing all the when you post like when you're like going to like doing like cuts at a hotel, I just be like, dang, that's dope.
Yeah. Somebody had to tell me like, yo, that might be good to share, And for me, I just be so caught up on being professional. Just had to learn how to do it and maintain being a professional. So I would never compromise my client because there has been some times where I pulled up on a client and their wedding ring was missing. You feel me? So something like that. Yeah. So it's like I just have to go and respect what they got going on too. So behind the scenes, hey, look, I'm going to this hotel and check my car valet and checking what time it is getting in, the times I get out because my hours can get crazy. And it started with one guy, then his partner might be there or his agent might be there and get a cut. Yeah. And yeah.
You ever been approached by any musicians to where they asked you like if you wanted to go on tour to cut for them?
I had a couple local artists told me that they were planning on doing something, and they said, "Would you be interested?" And I just like it would be way too demanding, and it was more so a conversation before they actually had like a presentation. So I never had like a full blown presentation that kind of showed like, yo, this is kind of how it could be. We're going to hit these cities up. We can cover you financially in this and these other amenities that come with it. I mean, I'm open to hear things out, but for how demanding my schedule is now, for my impact on what Side Effects needs on the day-to-day, it'll be very difficult for me to see that happening.
All right, we got a question on Facebook coming from Travis. He says, George, has anyone told you to cut like another barber style? So like someone just come in and like, hey, my barber cut me up like this. Can you cut me up like that?
I haven't had that in specifics where they say like that barber, but when they come in and they have these pictures from Instagram and they phone and they be like, yo, can you can cut me like this? What's good with? And I'm like, your hair don't grow like that. Your hair texture is different. So we can do something similar. But as far as getting it just like that, I'm gonna do the best I can do, and hopefully you love it. If you don't, but this is the task we got, dog. You talking about doing a full blown, Jerry curl, and you only got 3 strands. You Homer Simpson
with the little zigzag right here on the side. The 3 hoops.
Yeah. It's a creative game, though. I do love the challenge when clients do ask me to kind of do something that's outside of my box, and I let them know ahead of time, like how it could be a complication, but once they say go ahead and do what you can, it's a beautiful thing.
Now, do you strictly do men only, or do you do like female styles and female cuts?
Oh, for sure, any hair. I do women, the kids, the senior citizens. Like I'm not sexist at all when it comes to it, because you'll see now. A lot of women are kind of getting a lot more experimental and wearing shorter cuts too. Mm-hmm. So I think this past week I might have cut a good 5 or 6 women. Yeah. And that's kind of a lot for within 1 week. Normally it'd be like 2 or 3, but this most recent week coming back, like it was a lot of women that came through and was getting some elite fades. And I ain't talking about like no Amber Roses. They was getting some solid fades, keep the sideburns, all that.
That's probably because no hair salons are open. So they're cutting hair. They're like, oop, messed up. So they got to cut off the rest of it. But I was thinking about doing something underneath my hair before. I've seen some girls where they get the style underneath. But then when you put your hair up, you can see it. But when you put your hair down, you can't see it. But it's still dope because it's like, it has a little style to it when you put your hair up in a ponytail or a bun. Oh, that was pretty sick.
There's a few clients that come in with that cut, and I'm like, that takes a lot of confidence to wear that look. But that was trendy. I think Cassie did that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, she did the half head, right?
Yeah, she did the one on the side.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you heard it, ladies. You can't go to the salon, but you go, my boy G. Head over to Side Effects, get yourself a taper.
Hey, let's get it right.
Were you ever nervous that maybe they would have riot around the Monterey County area and that you would have to board up your shop?
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that because the protests in Seaside happened right on Obama Street. Obama Way, excuse me. Obama Way. Yeah, we the bottom of Broadway, which is now known as downtown Seaside, which Georgia shop Side Effects is right there on Obama Way. That's where where the protest started. And I was a little bit nervous. But I also have faith in the city because our city is a really tight community. But, I was really worried about, your business, the Hem, all the other of our friends' business and local business out there if things really got tense out there. What was your take on that?
I just know there was a small piece of it. And I seen something online. It might have been a few days ago. EJ shared it, I believe it was. But it was like people got protesters. Then you got people that are there to riot. Then you got a small group of people that are just there to loot. Mm-hmm. They're three different people. It's not the same person. So when I went to the original or one of the first protests on Saturday, and I'm seeing these people, all of them or a lot of them that I knew, rather from growing up or being around the community. Handful of them were my clients. Handful of them were just people that come through the shop. I knew what they felt because I'm feeling the same way. Mm-hmm. So there was only the small percentage of the random, but altogether I felt very confident about the nature, our shop being protected by the what it stood for, Side Effects altogether, which is if I can, I'm gonna go ahead and share what Side Effects means because people hear it and that just like a cold little like a lip name. Side, of course, is a side, like it's a we cut Seaside and we people call side the side from time to time. So side in that aspect, and then effects is the impression that we plan to leave on people. So Seaside being as culturally diverse that it is, and the city being amongst the Monterey's, the Pebble Beaches, and the Carmels were constantly put to the side. But this is how we flipped it and turned it to a side effect and made it something that's completely special, and that's what we still stand for.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
Yeah, so that was a great concept of when, because you guys do a lot for the community. Even though you guys have been open for a little more than a year now, going almost like about a year and a half or so. Right, and, in that year and a half, you made a huge impact on the city and the community by just bringing people together, giving people a place to, come hang out. You got all the barbers, pretty much all the top of the line barbers in the area and working out of your shop. And, man, it's like, even with, does each barber have, same restrictions or same guidelines, I should say, rather? But are they all working at the same time as you are, or do you have like limited amount of barbers that are coming in and cutting?
Not by, let me see how I can word it. It's not a forced schedule. I mean, I'm not trying to stop any of us from getting any kind of money or do anything. So it was the main thing that played into our schedule was the comfortability of each of us, one, and two, making sure we stay within the guidelines of our protocol. Mm-hmm. But a lot of us are still trying to get back to it. So naturally, before the lockdown, there's a handful of guys that like to work early and leave early. There's a handful of guys that like to come in a little later and leave later. I'm one of the later guys, but I'm also one of the early guys. So ironically, there has been plenty of times in the shop where it'd be, 3 guys in, maybe 4, 2 guys in, maybe 5. So it does kind of fluctuate. And with the gaps in between, we kind of do have a comfortable, 6 feet around us already between the chairs, 3 feet on one side, 3 feet on the other. So it's crazy how the layout already kind of plays to this snap. But yeah, we kind of floating it around, man. It's a beautiful, like, to look at how each of the barbers in there are uniquely different, from the guys that are married to the guys that are, single, the guys that are new in the barbering, guys that got plenty years. It's just a great combination of guys.
Yeah. And it's one client at a time, right? That could be inside the shop.
Yeah. So, back to the guidelines. So we service client, and what we're doing is prior to our next appointment, we're sending them, our next appointment a message like, hey, when you get here, shoot us a message, and I'll text or call you when the chair is available for you to come in. Okay. So that whole coming in the shop and kicking it 15 minutes before the cut has been taken from us, or temporary discontinued, which is a bummer for sure, because I love that that person comes in, they kind of get a chance to kind of ease into the shop, and there'd be ice-breaking conversations, or rather they hear hustling, but then you get in the chair and then it's good. But now it's like, I get done with my client in the chair, and then I go into immediate cleanup protocol. I'm wiping down the chair, my pencils and everything. I'm going to shoot a message to my next appointment. So it's a switcheroo, but it doesn't, you don't get that overlap. So it keeps the traffic at a light minimum.
So it feels more like a business than the camaraderie of it, right? Like
that part of it, yeah, that part, because for sure, like you got your big corporations, your true cuts, your super cuts, and I don't know how they do business, but I do like the fact that ours are so flexible and like custom to each barber. So now that we have those guidelines, it is kind of restricting us and kind of making us feel like we're working in for somebody, really working for ourselves. But those guidelines kind of almost make us feel like we got a boss looking over us, like, man, you better not have somebody in the shop while you still cutting. So we're doing the best we can.
Yeah, man. And I know it's been crazy these past couple days, with things been reopening throughout the community, throughout the city and county. Little by little, it was like I just got to go out to eat. Had brunch today, and it was amazing. Just to get out and see people. Yeah. But at the same time, when you see people, it's just a different vibe, because everyone got the mask on, and it's like you can't even read anybody's expression. You don't know. It's just crazy. Everyone is just forced to be silenced. And I don't know. It's just crazy time, man. It's a hard thing to cope with, because I'm just like whatever about it. But it's just crazy, man.
It's funny you said that, because I actually had a client ask me that on Tuesday, which was day one. Was he my last? He was my last client, or third to last. I ended up doing some extra work. So he said in the chair, he said, "Am I allowed to talk?" I said, "Please, what you mean?" And I think it was a sarcastic joke, because he was like, well, y'all got all these rules and guidelines and all this stuff. And I mean, without reading his face, I couldn't tell if it was a joke or he was being slick. Yeah. Like, I mean, knowing him a little bit, I know he's a slick talker, but I was kind of like, nah, man, you heard us barbers talking, because amongst us barbers, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of us, there's conversation still booming, and that right there is the icebreaker for our clients sitting there, which could be 1 to 7 guys in there too, to understand that, look, we still can have a good time amongst this group. It might not be the additional group that's sitting here waiting, but of course, not seeing people's facial expressions is a killer, because I mean, I'm popping off jokes. I need to see if you're feeling them. I need to know, hey, that was a dud. I'll make sure I scratch that off the list. Don't do that one again. But yeah, it's crazy to try to adjust, and reading people's eyes is starting to become an art of mine now. I've been seeing guys come in the shop and, they dress and their hair's different for one. So with the mask on, I'm looking like, oh yeah, what's up? And I've been kind of patting myself on the back for knowing people's actual faces or without with the mask on, like checking that off the lip, like that's 7 today. I got 7 of them right. That's good.
How does it feel wearing a mask all day and working?
It feels like I'm being. It's terrible. I was hot about it on Wednesday. Like day 2, I was just like, am I gonna be able to do this? Because it ended up being a longer day too. I was like, this ain't cool. Like, I don't like it. I'm still adjusting. That's gonna be probably the hardest thing to adjust to, especially because there's a long period where I'm in the shop without getting a break to take that mask off. So after that Wednesday, I started like, cool, I'm gonna step out to the bathroom, hit this hallway, and take this mask off for at least 30 seconds, a couple minutes, whatever, and get back to it. But that mask,
you got to schedule your breaks.
Schedule
your breaks between clients, like set a certain time, like I need to go outside just 10 minutes or something, just get some air.
How y'all doing with the mask on? Like, y'all finding some tricks? Like, I've seen somebody actually cut a hole in the middle.
I think that's a piece of perfect.
Me personally, I just stay home. I just stay home and then I ain't got to wear no mask. So if I got to go somewhere, like I went to the gas station, put gas in my car, and I just went into the gas station to go pay for it, and I forgot my mask. And dude was like, "Hey, you can't come in. You got no mask." Like barking at me. I'm like, "My bad." I put my shirt over. Like, "No, you need to go get your mask." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, I went to Burger King one time and I pulled up and she was like, "Oh, we can't serve you unless you're wearing a mask." And I was like, "Okay." So
hey, that happened to me at the drive-thru one time. That happened to me at the drive-thru at Jack in the Box.
Yeah, it was in the drive-thru when I went. And then there was the dude.
But you're in your car.
That's what I understand. That's what.
Yeah, well, there was a dude right in front of me, and I guess he didn't have a mask because he drove off heck quick. He's skirting out that parking lot like pissed off because they probably wouldn't give him his food. It's crazy.
Man. I didn't know they was hitting off the drive-thru. That's crazy.
Oh, it's crazy times, man. It really is crazy times with all this new culture that we got to adapt to. You know, I got another question from Facebook. George, what's your take on barbers taking other barbers' clients? So, how do you feel about when you go to another shop or and you see one of your clients sitting in someone else's chair?
The feeling is because I was taught from the OG. Remember this, because that's what I'm gonna go full circle. This is I love this question. So from the OGs, when I was at the hair company, I think the closest one in age was 53. When I started there, I was 17. And he told me real quick, he said, "Gee, like George, like there's gonna be young guys that come here that I service, that Lou services, that Fletcher services." This is Reverend Huntley that told me. And he said, they're gonna want to give you a try. They're gonna want to hop in your chair. They're gonna want to do business with you. And they're gonna be older, clients of mine. I don't want you to feel any type of way if they do that, because I'm okay with that. Anybody any client I lost was never my client, which kind of goes back to, some of the dating words I heard of you. She would never mind if she left, that type of thing. Yeah. But honestly, like if a client happens to hop into another barber seat and try something out, like I understand how crazy my schedule is. I understand how my style can be different. I understand like the financials can be different. Whatever fits. There's plenty of barbers for other people. And I've been told, or I've told other clients that I've seen, and I've actually said, "Hey, look, man, maybe you should try DeMarco, or maybe you should try Merv out," just based off of getting a feel for who they are, personality-wise. Like they might clash with the fact that I'm dumb OD with, like, if you late, you might not get the cut. Like you might need that wiggle room with somebody that's a little bit more flexible, because my schedule does not allow for a lot of, bumps. So yeah, it happens, but I have learned that from the early ages, working with the old heads, the OGs, that it's just part of the business and never personal.
Yeah, I feel that, because I know me personally, you are a hard person to get on the schedule with, because you have so many clients, and then sometimes my schedule didn't work with, so it's like, hey, I gotta go to Merv, who sit right next to you, and I'm like, man, it's like I always had that feel like, man, I feel bad, but Merv the homie too. Yeah, it's like, I'm like, I'm here, but I just need to get a cut, but
Hey, I'm glad that question was asked though, because I always wondered that. I always wondered, like, because there were times where I'd go to a spot and I'm like, I don't know, I'm gonna try somebody else this time, or just taking whoever was available and then trying to fill, and then seeing homie walk in who usually would cut my hair, and it's like, oh, you sitting in his chair now? Like, I always wondered if that's what went on in their heads. But I mean, I know, like, as far as the culture you set, or you guys got, it seems like, I mean, you could always deal with people like that, but like that was just the culture that you learned on never taking it personal.
That's that you hit it right on the head.
Every shop could be different, right?
Yep, every shop, and we've adapted a lot of what the hair company taught me. And you'll hear from me or any guys in the shop when we answer the landline phone, like, "Yo, can I get a cut? Who's the best barber, or who can I book with?" Yo, we're 7 deep. We're confident that you're gonna get one of the dopest cuts on the peninsula with any of the guys in here. Hey, I never heard nobody on the phone like, "Yo, this is what you want to do." Let me go ahead. I haven't heard nobody hijack any appointments based off of just trying to be greedy, because we really are that in demand, and we just really we have that notion that the hair company kind of adapted that everybody got to eat. I don't care if it's in my chair, but somebody gonna eat up in here. Like, it's just that's a philosophy we got.
So who cuts your hair?
DeMarco, man. I've been flipping these hats left and right. I did a couple selfie cuts, but I've yet to get a professional cut since early March. I'm sorry. So I'm thirsty to get the cut. I think Tuesday or Wednesday we gonna link up. I got they coming up, so it's only right. I got to get cut before Thursday.
Yeah, man.
Hey, so what happened? What happened to the hair company now? Like, so I didn't like all of a sudden I just noticed it was gone, and I was just like. So what they got a whole development plan for that place or what? Like, what's happening?
They do, and that development probably is 2 years old as far as the plans, the people that bought the land. That was not something that blindsided anybody working there. So I've been trying to make sure that people understood, like, it was nothing. It wasn't like people were at home quarantining and a bulldozer just came and blew it up. And go down like that. So be fully aware. I knew about it prior to while I was putting the plans together for side effects. Before that, so barbers and stylists had plenty of time to kind of put their game plan together. But that land, if you're familiar with Seaside and that particular land, from that stop sign,
the post office.
I'm not sure what that not what
San Lucas
stop light. So
San Lucas.
Post office. That light there to the stop sign that they just put in there probably a handful of years back.
Oh, that stop sign that just stops in the middle of nowhere.
When they first put that in, I was like, why'd they do this?
I've ran that stop sign so many times. Just driving up Broadway.
I know the story of that. I know the story of why they put that in. And
someone got hit.
There you go. Now to get super serious, somebody got hit, and they didn't live. So that was part of the things that kind of was like, because it kind of comes up at a hill, but people pick up momentum from the post office zooming up. Like, and in that little hill, you can't see a person crossing, and there's a lot more foot traffic these days.
It's a little dark till you hit Noche Buena kind of thing right there too.
Yeah, it do have a little blind spot. So, and I've seen a handful of people still run through that light or that stop sign. So, yeah, but that whole stop sign to that stoplight was sold as one whole plot. And that's how the city of Seaside owned that land, and they bought it from, bought pieces at a time. It's because they wanted to be in control of what development could potentially go there to benefit the city. They didn't want to just have somebody else go there and put a Starbucks. They wanted a whole program, a nice little development, which is what they're working on. That's going to bring a whole bunch of cribs, a handful of little commercial spaces, and really beautify the city. Because as long as I work there, as much as I loved what I did, I love my studio, I love the energy in the building. It was not a reflection of who we were as a staff. You go in, it wasn't a real lobby. It wasn't built to be a barbershop. It just kind of turned into a shop with a whole bunch of suites. But it definitely had a special, vibe to it. So that was what my piece was when I had to go and see. I was pulling up almost every day, just parked outside and seeing them guys tear it up, because I just had so many memories with the spot and stuff. So
yeah, I seen you get a little sentimental a couple times on your story.
What's that?
I seen you get a little sentimental on your story a couple times.
It was crazy because the last place that they as they tore it down, they started from the back to the front. The last room they knocked down was my room. Ironically, everything was gone except for my space. So I was just trying to feel what the message was behind it, and just understanding that I'm glad, Side Effects is up and booming, and for everything that the hair company has instilled in me, I'm going to take that to the pylon and keep on building, because I know that they're still trying to find a new location to relocate. But as far as us still being on Broadway, and a handful of barbers that are in there that have hair company relationship and ties, we're going to make sure we still keep the company alive for sure.
That's what's up. Man. So we do got to wrap things up. George, I want to thank you so much for being a part of the 360 Chop Shop. It was a great conversation. You spoke on some great things. Let everybody know where they can follow you at.
Oh, man. Depending on what you're trying to get into. So I got my personal page, the Geo Effect, which is my master umbrella, my whole brand. And, I host events as well. I do speech and speak engagements as well. and that's at TheAffecctGeo. And then also have my barber account, which is Geo Cuts, GEO_CUTS. And the shop itself, Side Effects, that we spoke so great about, is SIDEAFFECTS at, or no, not at, but 831. I was gonna say .com, but that's it. So yeah, man, we got a handful of things booming. I really appreciate you guys, inviting me on. Like, this is a special time in history right now. So thanks for letting me get a chance to voice this.
Absolutely, man. It's been a pleasure having you, man. And definitely gonna come by the shop, get me a cut, because I've been trying to do them selfie cuts, but I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need that Geo effect real soon, man. So
let's get it, man. Let's make that happen.
George, before you go, my son's birthday is on Thursday, and I've been trying to go take him to get a haircut, because he hasn't had a cut for like 2 or 3 months. I think I cut his hair like 2 months ago, like when this first started. But it's his birthday, so I'm trying to get him cut nice. Like,
trying to get him fresh.
I know you said you had a birthday coming up. Is that your birthday too?
Yeah. So
the 11th.
The 11th, man. Not only because it's his birthday, but because it's our birthday. It's only right. We gotta find a way to make that happen. So for sure, shoot me a DM. Let's make that happen.
All right, I will.
I got
that's an exclusive DM. I'm not letting that.
And of course, ladies too. He cuts the ladies up too. So I know the salons is out right now. So head over to Side Effects. See my man.
Any last minute shout outs or anything you want to give out to your team or your partners, whoever, anyone in Seaside, anyone who needs to hear something, just.
EJ is in Spain. EJ Rolling, if y'all not familiar with who that is, he's in Spain playing pro ball, and he's expecting a baby. I don't know if we don't know what he's expecting yet, but he's in Spain right now, and I want to shout him out. All throughout this time between him, Orlando, he's in town, Orlando Johnson, and he's in town as well, and just the three of us just bouncing stuff off each other to make sure that we kind of keep everything in tune. The whole GER clothing line, everybody, that we keep a nice exclusive amount of GER clothing in the shop as well. So if you're looking for that GER essential, and you're ready to attack life, and you need something that kind of embodies, you striving for that pursuit of, whatever your dream is, we got that for you as well. Shout out DeMarco, shout out Nick the Fade Banger, Tila Trims, Easy Bars, Josh the Barber, Cut 'em Up Nice, all the 831 in the peninsula, like I do. All this just because they need to know the culture is much more than a cut. You feel me? Let's keep turning it up.
That's what's up, man. Well, this has been the 360 Chop Shop Podcast. It's my Geo. Make sure you head down to Side Effects. Make sure you hit that website up. Make sure you book yourself an appointment. Make sure you book it early, because that thing gets filled up real quick.
Amen.
All right, hey, man. Thank you so much for being with us, man. You guys have a good night. We are out for the night. Thank y'all so much. We are going to be streaming this on all media outlets, so make sure you do follow Apple Music, Spotify, Anchor, every single podcast network out there, the 360 Chop Shop Podcast. Of course, make sure you follow us on Instagram at 360 Chop Shop. And of course, we are on twitch.tv/360_Chop Shop. Once again, this is the 360 Chop Shop Podcast. We are out, y'all. Peace.
Peace.